Celebrate. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective. It's your boy. I'm here. I just left another day of work. Work. It feels like life is just a never-ending cycle of just go to work, come home, go back to work, go home, rest up for a couple of days, to come back into work. That adult life cycle. That adult life cycle, man. I'm trying to break the matrix. Man. Are we turning or are we sitting? We squatting. Turning, sitting, squatting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so today was an okay day. Nothing to write home about. But there's a thing I've learned about nothing to write home about days. You take those days because uh, if you have something to write home about, I feel like 9 times out of 10, it's usually not a good thing that you're writing home about. But anyways, it is what it is. I wanted to go to this TJ Lavin concert that is tomorrow, February 3rd. Yeah, that's tomorrow. And I wished that I had bought a ticket because originally, when I first heard about the concert, I went up and I looked up the tickets, and the tickets were like $30. And I said, "Oh, $30 tickets, amazing. I have no reason why not to go. $30 because you know how I said I've seen everybody notable that there is to see. There's not going to be many people. I think this is the first time that TJ Lavin has gone on a tour of just like doing a concert, which of singing and playing his guitar and talking about himself and his life experiences. Like I feel like that would be a cool thing to do, and that would technically kind of be like a challenge. That would be like a challenge thing. What is happening with those people over there? Yeah. Oh, shout out to the algorithm surge. While you're here for the next 30 seconds, like the page, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Likes are free, so I'm always going to ask for them. I'm going to ask for likes like they are my cups that I'm shaking outside, being like, yo, can you give me $1? That's what a like is to me. Except a like is not actually $1. It's just a press of a button. The same press of the button that got you onto the page is the same thing that can help you hit the like button. And what hitting the like button does for me is that it boosts my position in the algorithm. Because the algorithm is fickle. When I first started on my other page some time ago, I think maybe 4 years, I want to say at this point. I want to say 4 years ago. Um, at that point in time, ooh, at that point in time, I had multiple different things going through my mind at once. My apologies. Hello, Jack. Hello, Sarah. How y'all doing today? Oh yeah. So when I first started the page, I don't know why, but the algorithm was feeding me people. And the one thing that I have learned about YouTube and stuff is that sometimes you only go as far as what the algorithm is willing to feed you. So the algorithm has not been feeding me for the past 2 years, and therefore the views are down, the engagement is down. But I still keep doing this for the faithful delegation of people who follow me because I appreciate their patronage. And that's really it. If it wasn't for those few that are consistently always there, I wouldn't be here. Here, as in my channel. The algorithm is surging today, y'all. I don't know what's making them surge me up, but if anyone is new here, what would you like to see me talk about? I can figure out things on my own, even if nobody gives me a topic. Let's see. Let's see a good topic. A good topic, right? Right now, I work in an office setting, and to make this more generic and general, it's not necessarily just about this office setting. This office setting is a part of it, but it's not all of it, right? So, um, sometimes you might find yourself in a position where somebody seems like they're not happy about your position in life, right? Hold on, Gap board. Hi, Gap board. Alright, I don't know what that means, but you are now hidden from my channel. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, I found myself in positions in life, like I can give you an example. There was this guy who worked at my gym that I used to go to. And this guy, for some reason, would walk up to me and just talk all this trash to me. And I would be like, why is he doing this? He'd be like, I get more women than you. He would be like, I have more money than you. I have a doctorate. I'm smarter than you. Mind you, this is not like a back and forth. The only thing I was telling him is, like, dude, I don't really care. Call me Ryder, okay? The only thing I was really telling him is, like, dude, I don't really care about your status in life, your money, the people you get, the people you get with. Like, that's not really any of my concern. It's not like we're friends. So that information is irrelevant to me, right? So that's all I was really telling him as a response. And I remember somebody, actually the person who used to work at the front desk, and I asked her. I used to be like, that has all these things I don't have. Why are you trying to prove to me um, that you have those things? Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so let's say you make twice as much money than me. You have a house. You have two cars. You hook up with all these different people every day. Whatever it is that you think makes you feel like you're better than me. Um, why are you telling me that? Wouldn't you be telling that to somebody that you think that you are below them? Like their level is the level that you want to get to. And so the response of that front desk person was like, yeah, he might have all those things that he's talking about. He might do all those things that he's telling you. But there's something about you that makes him feel inferior to you. Because people are only going to say those types of things to people that they feel inferior to. And at the time, I was like, But why would he feel inferior to me, especially considering I knew some of those things are true. Like, I don't know how much is true about what's in your bank account, because you can make anything up. But I knew that, with the job he had, he made a decent amount of money. I knew that he was a homeowner, and I'm not a homeowner. I did know that he had a nice vehicle that he used to show up with. I knew some things about a lot of things about him, to where there's at least some accuracy to the things he was saying. But it's not really like, honestly, in the same way that he felt like there was something about me that was better than him, I didn't feel like any of those things made him better than me. Like, I wasn't sitting here feeling like I gotta get on Rose level in order to feel like I'm something in life. I felt more like, you got all those things, but you still gotta convince people that you're that. You still gotta convince people that you are that. And if you gotta try to convince people that you're that, then you're not that. You're not it. You're not it. Mm-hmm. You are not playing. I'm not playing with what? Live NFI. I have play rehearsal, so I can't stay. You can have a happy. Uh, isn't it like 3 o'clock for you? Wait, two. Wait, Houston is on what time zone? Look at me being terrible with my time zones. Time zones and geography, not my thing. I can only tell you what's East Coast, West Coast, and like Midwest. I have an issue. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this out since nobody responded. But yeah, my trip to LA, it was dangerous. I felt unsafe outside, day and night. There was a lot of drug addicts. Uh, a lot of drug addicts. There was a lot of drug deals. I saw some of them going on in front of me. When I went to the grocery store, there were these big bouncers or big security guards that were scary looking. And then when I saw people within the store, I realized why they were there. When I went to what was then called the Staples Center, there was more of the same homeless people that were sleeping on the steps of the Staples Center and dangerous looking people around the area. When I went to my little tiny hotel that cost me 300 and something a night, but was the size of a college dorm room. Why are you honking for? The light's red. It was the size of a college dorm room. I had a rental car. It was a pretty nice rental car. I felt unsafe. People were looking and eyeing that car down, and I was like, "Can I leave it out there?" Because the actual hotel did not have hotel parking, so the options were leave it on the street and pay the meter. Um, it's free at night, obviously, but that was only until I think about 6 a.m. I think the meter was free from like 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. So I worried about leaving my car on the side of the street. And eventually, I started paying the $40 a night valet just so that I can sleep at night, not thinking that my rental car was going to get stolen or broken into or something like that. Um, but yeah, that was LA. I did love the LA Convention Center. It was very nice in there. That and going to Long Beach. I went to Long Beach. That was my only two good experiences when I was in California. But you never know. Life might bring me back there again for something, but it's just not right now. Not right now. If I had like a wonderful experience, I would be coming back there soon. Or I'd have a plan to be going back there at some point. I can't even say soon because the budget and the time don't typically call for that, unfortunately. You scared me. Oh well. I am almost home. Almost. Wait, I'm thinking of something else. Almost there. What was that song from the Princess and the Frog? I want to say it's almost there or almost home. I can't remember which one. One of those two. One of those two. And here we are back on the block where two cars cannot fit at the same time. There's still people shoveling. It's only still snow here because it's so cold that even though the snowstorm is what 8, 9 days ago, the snow still hasn't melted, and it's sunny, but it's like 30 degrees, and that is the warmest that it has been. Why are you rolling through here like there's space for both of us? I know, I like you don't gotta flash the lights at me, sir or ma'am. I am aware that both of our cars cannot fit. All right. There's two parking spots nearby my house that I have just learned a specific way to get in and out of. I've just learned a specific way to get in and out of them because there's no spots in the snow, but I know how to get out of this spot. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you all. Enjoy your evening.